Welcome everybody to a new Let's Look At. I'm Ben the Human and we're looking at Transporter today. Transporter is a game by Shattered Mirror Studio. It's a resource transport and management game. It's interesting. It's very early access. There's like there's barely not a tutorial, I would say. Honestly, the best way to learn how to play this game is kind of just watching other people do it. That's kind of, I had to go watch other people play the game so I could play the game for you guys. And here we are. but I think the best way to do it is just to jump in and kind of show off what this game is capable of. We're just going to generate a random map. And basically what happens, what this is doing here, it's going to put down some towns that consume resources. It's going to have a bunch of industries that make and trade resources with each other. And your job is managing this transport company that can build roads, build railroads, and build ships that can move resources in and around the map. So we'll just jump in here. It's going to take a second to load the map. But once we get in here, I can kind of show you the basics of the game, what I've learned, what I've struggled with the game, and you can kind of make an informed decision yourself about whether or not you think it's worth buying or not. It's an interesting concept, and it is very early access still, so I totally understand that. But it's a very small studio, and I understand the need to get some sort of capital to keep your project rolling. So I don't really begrudge anybody for coming out in early access, especially if it's a very small studio. And I like what it has. It all depends on what your threshold for a game is. It's definitely got some bugs still. Sometimes the roads break and the trucks don't want to find their way where they should. Things like that will happen. Sometimes there will be a road that claims it doesn't exist. And you clearly have a road that does exist. And as far as I know, sometimes you can save and reload and things will fix themselves. Other times they're just like broken entirely, and you know, that's how it is. But as far as, you know, development goes, that's kind of how early access can be. Our company name is going to be Ben Corp, of course. My favorite color is green, and we'll start the game here. So now you can zoom all the way out. Had to adjust the sound for a second. So we can zoom all the way out and you can see how big the world is here. It's just big square. You can adjust the settings in the loading part when you create the map, make it even bigger, but I imagine it just like slows down the generation of the map. But I just kind of want to jump in here and show you how things work. So that we have these 3-4 towns here. Oh, 5 towns. It's a big map. And they will consume resources. So if you click on any of these guys, so we click on Scarford, and anything you click on will open a menu in this game, so you could overwhelm yourself with tabs very shortly. But Scarford, pretty big town. South Chester, also a big town. And so when you open these, they give you kind of the general population and whatnot. You can also go to the supplier tab and see what delivers supplies to each town. So Scarford gets construction materials from this construction yard. They get cider from the cider mill. South Chester, same thing. If we go look at any of these other towns, Allpool, only cider for there because they're a smaller town. They just need the alcohol. Same with Harchester, and then Fairton, I assume. Oh, they want peaches. So you can see what kinds of things that the cities will consume. They also have this destinations thing, which you can set up bus routes to transport people to and from. I've never quite got bus routes to work, so I'm not really going to be showing you that. I'm just going to show you the material transport side of the game, and then maybe you can figure out how the buses work and you can teach me. But the first thing is, there's usually a power plant somewhere. There's a coal mine. So the power plants are coal power plants. This is like the 1950s or something like that. I don't know if that's true. But they always output to a power plant. So we go over here. This actually looks like a nuclear power plant to me, but they're burning coal. So I'm going to show you how to set up a rail, first of all, because I feel like the rail works really well with the power production. The power production is a very closed loop system. You output coal from the coal mine, it gets taken over to the power plant, it gets consumed, train goes back to the coal mine, and on and on forever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a single line here. Problem is there's a peach orchard in the way, so we'll have to kind of go around the peach orchard here. And one of the things that's tricky with building trains or just building anything in this game is you really have to pay attention to the elevation. You have to manage it very carefully. But we're gonna start with the railroad here. Everything needs to have a station of some kind at it. You can mess around with the different types of stations here. I like the freight terminal for the coal mine and the power plant. You can flip things around. So we're going to throw that down here. Now this is part of this coal mine. And what I want to do is we want to take this rail and we have to build a ramp here so it can go down elevation here. Rail are a little trickier than roads. Roads basically take up a full square. Rail can exist like anywhere along in these squares, so you have to be a little careful with it when you're building. The other thing that's tricky is the rail is in very particular segments, so if you have a small segment here, you won't be able to build a straight rail. It's very confusing, but you'll get the hang of it over time. Now, we want to turn the rail so we can send it this way. Along the route here. And then I think what I want to try to do here is I want to try and turn it so it goes down again. This is what I was talking about, where if you're not aligned perfectly with the grid, it won't actually line up, which is maddening, but that is how this game works. So actually what I'll go back and do, what I found works pretty well actually, just back this up a little bit, is you can use this custom curve and you can kind of make it fit anything then. See, we have like this tiny little diagonal in there. That works pretty well for fixing things like that. The tricky thing is we're going to have to go this way and then over another hill and then down the hill to get to the power plant. But I think we can make that work. We just need to get another ramp in here. Like so. And then the tricky thing is, oop, turn this around. Rats. This is where the game is a little infuriating. Is that we need to have like enough space to be able to connect these two. So what I should have done is built this first and then built the custom curve. There. Now it works. So now we're going to turn the track. Like so. And then the custom curve will allow us to go like deep into the woods here. And then we're going to have to get ready to go up the hill here. So what I think I'll do is I'll build a ramp like so. And then I'll continue this curve. It's the weirdest train like in existence, but you know, it is our train. We can just go straight across. Like there, and then we'll build the ramp down. Ta-da! And now we can get over to the coal power plant. I've goofed it again. Connected. And now we want to build a train station at our coal plant so we can drop coal off here. And you can do a closed circuit for your train so it goes around in a circle. The only time I've found that super beneficial is when you're trying to deliver to multiple places. It makes sense. If you're just going back and forth between one place and the other, I think it makes more sense to go back and forth just straight, because there's not going to be any other trains operating on this thing. At least I don't think there should be. Anyway, so we're going to move this depot over here. So you always need a depot for your vehicles to like live in or exist. Oops. There we go. Now, we want to build a train. So this train is we're going to come down here. You just click on your depot. You want to hit buy vehicle, and then you can build your train. What engine was I using? I think I was using this engine. They all have different stats. I'm sure somebody can do a deep dive on like what is the most efficient train for each application. I'm not going to do that. That's not my bag. But something you do want to pay attention to is the type of container for your car. So what this car is going to be doing is transporting coal. So whenever you're transporting or setting up to transport some sort of, material, you want to mouse over this guy. So we'll just mouse over the gondola. You see on the far right over here, you can see what it lists it's capable of carrying. So coal, rock, sand, clay, and so on. We want to add 4 of these gondola cars so that they're part of this train. And now we will tell this train to go to the coal mine, pick up coal, bring it back, deliver it to the power plant, and then continue to do that forever until we tell it to stop. So the way you do that is you right click on the train here, hit open. We're gonna rename this train, so like if I look at it in the future, I know exactly what that train is. Coal power plant delivery. Good. And then cargo. That's just, you want to see what is it currently carrying. Right now, we need to add order. You can hold shift and then WASD to move really fast around the map. So this is with shift, this is without shift. So I use shift a lot to move. So you hit plus here, add location, select this station. Now it'll go to the mine, it'll pick up this stuff, and then we want to go back and deliver here. And now this thing, if it's an acceptable path, if the path is connected and works, these will both be highlighted green. If it's red, either something broke and or you didn't connect your path appropriately. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But if it's all set up, it's all green to go, we can just hit start. And now we'll see this train come out here. Here it comes. Let's speed up time a little bit. And there it goes. So this train will go all the way to the coal mine, pick up 200 units of coal, bring them back, deliver to the all-pool power plant, and then just do that forever. And in the future, when we come back to this guy, we can actually click on it and see how much profit has this thing made us over the course of its lifetime. Because it does have an operating cost to run it. But we'll let that guy run for now and just let him do, and then we'll come back and see, how is he doing. So once you have that kind of like original loop set up, you have the way things operate in mind, you can start branching out to other resources. So you want to try and find, or at least for me, what works well is I like to try and find things that are the base resource of the chain. So the coal, for example, is the base of the power plant. It only has one step though. It only goes to the power plant and then it's done. There's other things in the game that have multiple steps in them, excuse me. But one of the other bases is the oil sands. This guy produces oil and it produces sand. You can see how many tons of oil does it have, how many tons of sand does it have on hand. That now, if you click on any of these base resources, so the bauxite mine, for example, is another base resource that puts out bauxite. If we want to see where do these things deliver, we just go to output. And I did this on the coal mine earlier to find the power plant, but we can see here the oil sands is used in many places. The oil is used in the Alpool refinery and then the CFG refinery. The sand is used in the solar panel factory, the glass works, 2 of them, and then the cement plant. So there's lots of resources that we could be picking up at the oil sands and delivering them all over the map. So we'll deal with that one later. The aluminum smelter, however, is the only one that deals with the bauxite mine here. The funny thing about it is it's on the other side of the river. Good news is it's not too hard to build a bridge in this game. What is kind of tricky is making sure you can get up and down elevation. Roads are a little easier to manage than the train. This is also something that happens. Did you see how it kind of got blurry there for a second? I'm not sure why that happens. Sometimes it gets stuck and you have to save and reload, and that sometimes fixes it. Other times I've had the map break like entirely and I can't get the fuzzy filter to go away for the life of me. So obviously not great, but you know, it is early access. What I'm doing here is I went to the landscape tool and I just clicked on the corner of the square I would like to flatten. The reason I did that is I want to build roads down this hill, and the only side of a hill you can build roads on is a flat. You can't build a road on this kind of diagonal thing, so don't try. You need to adjust the landscape to fix that. It'd be nice if they added into the game to be able to just build over a road and it would auto landscape for you, but that doesn't exist right now. But what I do want to do is I want to get ready to build a bridge across this thing so I can pick up bauxite here and I can deliver it to the aluminum factory over here. So we're going to build a bridge, and you can there's a lot of different bridges in the game. If we click on bridge here, we could do overpass. That's specifically for building roads on top of each other. I haven't messed around too much with that. Concrete bridge is more of like you want a bridge over top of a different road. Maybe you want a bridge over top of this train. Something like that. A truss bridge is for kind of a short distance across a river or canyon or something. And then the arch bridge is like a really long spanned bridge. At least that's what I've used them for. So I'm going to set up a truss bridge across the river like so, looking pretty nice. I guess I kind of made it a little longer than it needed to be, but it still looks okay to me. And now let's go ahead and build normal road. Like so. I don't know why it's in 2 line segments now. That's very strange. I've never seen that before. You seen this? There we go. What if I go back to class 1 now? Okay, we fixed it. So there's just a lot of little weird quirky things like that. Ah. Control mouse wheel? Oh, I learned something. Look at that. Imagine if you read the directions, you'll actually learn something. So if you hold control and then mouse wheel, you can build bigger sections. But if we want to go up and down these mountains, we need to be building small sections anyway. But we're going to go up and over this hill, just, you know, plain road here. And then just kind of like we did with the train station, we want to set up a truck stop here. And you can set it up anywhere along a white colored building here. You can do it anywhere on this aluminum factory. It doesn't matter. If you get into, I'm just trying to find like a farm here. Are there any farms on this map? I don't think there are, actually. There are some maps that have farms on them, which will be really big, sprawling things. You have to connect the station to the main part of the farm. It's like the farm buildings that'll be glowing white. If you try to build the farm, the station next to like a field, it won't connect. So don't make that mistake. I've made that mistake before. Now, I'm gonna connect this station. I just like to use the basic truck station. You could probably mess around with stop, terminal, loading bay. They have different modifiers. So like station, cargo only, stop is cargo only, terminal can only do dry bulk cargo, so you couldn't do like a liquid, and then a loading bay is cargo only as well. But they each have different speeds for loading. They have different capacities, but they also take up different amounts of space. They also, you know, cost different amounts, things like that. I'd like to use the truck stop because it's simple and it works for me. We're going to connect the road here, and then it's not enough to just build the road next to the station. You have to come down here to this little connection button, and then you have to lean to the side that you want to connect to the road adjacent, and then connect it like that. Now, this is connected to the road and trucks can access it. We also need to do that at the bauxite mine over here, so the bauxite mine can, you know, ship things to the aluminum factory, the aluminum smelter over here. So let's go ahead and build another station. Just like so. Road. That road should have connected. Rude. See what I mean about sometimes you just have to do things like in a weird way? Oh, I wonder, are you a different class of road? Now I'm very confused. What if I try class 2? Nope. Well, now I don't know why this road won't connect to that road. So oh, I know why. I bet it's because it's a 2-piece road, and I had built a, sure enough. So there's just like weird quirks like that. So all of these pieces of road that I had built before are 2 pieces long. Because of that, it didn't want to connect with a 1-piece road. There's just lots of weird little quirks like that that I think need to be ironed out for the game. You can figure it out, you just have to have patience. However, add connection. So now we've connected this station to the road system. And what we want to do is add another depot, but this one is for roads specifically. So I like to just throw the depot wherever, doesn't really matter. But now this allows us to buy trucks. So if we want to build a truck, we want to, that can deliver bauxite. I usually just buy this Sylvia R4220. It's fast, it goes 95 kilometers per hour versus, you know, some of these slower ones. Like I said, it's more expensive, but you know, I haven't gone through and done the math about like what is, you know, the most efficient truck for each application. And I'm definitely not the guy for that. However, we would like to get a dump trailer because the dump trailer is the trailer that can carry bauxite. So go ahead and buy that. It automatically applies it to whatever truck we have in here. Go ahead and right click, hit open. We are going to call you. Let me rename you. Bauxite delivery. And then orders, just like we did with the train. We have a notification. We'll check on that as soon as I get this set up. So go to the aluminum smelter. Actually, we should probably do the bauxite mine first. Oh, we're out of focus. Okay, we're back in focus. And then go to the aluminum smelter. And great, green all the way. So we didn't break anything accidentally. Now we can just hit go. And that guy is going to pick up bauxite over here. I think he'll grab it. Oh, there's not any capacity. Are you guys off the job? I think sometimes, yeah, for whatever reason, it takes a minute for the truck, or like you need a truck to show up to get them to start delivering bauxite to the terminal. I don't know, it just needs to like be instanced that there is a vehicle that can carry it. So now it's going to go over to the aluminum smelter. It'll come back and pick up bauxite next time. What we can do now is the aluminum smelter takes bauxite in. It also needs chemicals from the refinery, which need oil from the oil sands. You see how things kind of build upon each other? So if we want to go over here to this refinery, for example, we need oil from this guy right here. The good news is we've already set up a road for all of this stuff. So we can go ahead and just build another station here. Flip you around. Attach this road over here. Nice and convenient that it goes right where I want it to. Connect the two. And then we're going to build a station right next to the oil sands. It's like right there. Road. Oh, once again, we have to destroy you. Hopefully it doesn't mess up with my truck there. And connect it. Now we want to connect you. And now you're ready to start delivering oil. However, we need a new truck. This truck is only capable of taking bauxite or similar style things. We need a new truck that can carry liquids because we need to deliver oil to the refinery. So let's go ahead and get another Sylvia. And then we'll buy a smoothbore tank trailer. You see it can haul oil and chemicals over there. Go ahead and buy that. Open. And then we're going to give orders to go to the oil sands. and then deliver it to the refinery over here. And then hit go. That truck should show up. There he is. It's already moving pretty quick. Look at him go. So this guy will take in oil, and it will output chemicals and fuel as well, but we only want to pick up the chemicals, actually. So eventually, once this... Actually, I could just show you right now. So what I want to do, actually, is I want to add a new step in here, which is the aluminum factory. So what it needs to do here is this is when you get into the minutia of things of picking up stuff and telling it exactly what to pick up. So I would like it to pick up only at the oil sands. I only want it to pick up oil. So I'm going to deselect any chemicals here. Or sorry, any of these other ones, chemicals, fuel, milk. It'll only pick up oil. At the refinery, I only want it to pick up chemicals. That way, it delivers chemicals, or it delivers the oil, picks up any chemicals that have been processed in the meantime, and then we deliver all to the aluminum, and I don't want it to load anything at the aluminum factory. It's like a two-step process. Picks up oil at the oil refinery, delivers it to the refinery over here, picks up chemicals from there, delivers those to the aluminum smelter, and then goes back to the oil and start again. Hopefully that works. I think that's how it works. I don't know if I've ever actually succeeded. I don't know what you do. Actually, I accidentally right-clicked. So we'll never know what that was. I wanted to go check on the train here. Here's the train coming on over. See how it's loaded with coal? And we've made 715 euros on this guy. This year, I believe, is what the bold one here is. And then the one in the parentheses, I believe, is like lifetime. So we've made over 1.4 million euros just on the train. That's why I like to do the train with the power station first. It's just very easy to get money from. So we'll just let that guy chug along. Let's go check on our bauxite deliverer, see how that one's doing. We've made profit on that as well. Not total, but should be making profit in the future. And then this guy, how are you doing? Do you have oil in you? You sure do. And then as he arrives, he should deliver the oil. Oh, this should be oil. Gotta name things. Oil chemical delivery. It's just easy enough for me to understand that. So he's delivered the oil. We made 64,000 euro, but there wasn't any chemicals available to pick up, so we didn't pick anything up. He's still gonna go to the aluminum smelter, but that's fine. Can accept oil. Can sell. Shouldn't this be flipped around? All right, he's building chemicals now, which is good. So when that guy comes back, he should probably be picking up chemicals, I think. We'll have to pick up on him later. But now it should be able to get the acceptable amount of resources it needs here. So it's got the bauxite necessary. It doesn't have chemicals yet. So it's not able to produce any aluminum. What we want to do with the aluminum eventually is we would like to deliver that to the cidery over here, which is on the other side of the river. So we'd actually have to build a road back over here, which you could totally do. You should eventually, you know, connect all of your cities, connect all of your things so you can ship to and from. But we can also ship to the solar plant, which is on the same side of the river, but it's like kind of out of the way. We'd have to go around our refinery and then connect up with Allpool over here, which we can totally do. The roads are a little easier to manage than the trains are, because the trains are very like picky about how they're arranged, at least from what I've seen. How dare you? There's certain things that are a little particular about how you connect them. There. And now what we would do is we would connect this to here. We would, you know, build a road. Whoop. We would build a road out to the aluminum, well, my mouse has decided to get stuck. There we go. It's free. We would build a road out to this aluminum, or the solar panel factory, so we could deliver aluminum here. But then we'd also have to work on glass and sand, which sand we could get from the sand mine, but we could also get sand from the oil sands, because that produces sand and oil. So you see how things just kind of build upon each other, and it makes sense to start at the lowest part of each manufacturing process, but then you just slowly build upon everything as it goes out. Like I said, there's a lot of like goofy little things going on that, you know, kind of make it a challenge to learn, A, and B, keep things functioning without breaking. But I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. Just the ability to be a transport company and have like multiple avenues of supplying resources to different things is very, very cool. You know, you should check it out if you think it's cool. Thanks again to Shattered Mirror Studio for reaching out and having me take a look at the game. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Like I said, it's still very early access, so if it's, you know, you think there's a lot that still needs to be added to the game, I totally understand that. I think it's got some cool ideas and a very good like base to start a game. So if you guys enjoyed, you should definitely click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more videos like this where I take a look at games and share them on my channel, you should subscribe to the channel. That also helps me out a lot. But until next time, everybody, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!